Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
This is 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
Good evening, I'm Jen Ah. Thanks for joining us on 7 at 7. Breaking in sports brought to you by Station Casinos, STN Sports. Download the app today. It looks like a long road ahead for ex-Raiders coach Jon Gruden in his lawsuit against the NFL. This comes after his racist, misogynistic, and anti-LGBTQ emails were publicized. Review Journal's Cassie Soto has more, as Gruden claims the NFL leaked those emails to ruin his career.
Jon Gruden went 2-0 in court on Wednesday when District Judge Nancy Alf dismissed both of the NFL's motions, meaning the case will now proceed in court instead of arbitration like the league had hoped. As NFL reporter Adam Hill tells us, the rulings could have big impacts around the league.
That means there could be months and months of discovery, which could lead to making public of 650,000 emails from the Washington football team investigation, of which we only know the few that were sent by Jon Gruden. Gruden, of course, suing for the NFL allegedly leaking those emails to the press, which led to his forced resignation from the Raiders. That is what he alleges. The NFL denies it. They have said they did not release those emails, but we will find out a whole lot more about this case if it does proceed in court and if we don't have any holdups along the way. The NFL, of course, appealing those rulings from today.
In more top stories, sponsored by Nevada Hand Silver Sky Assisted Living Community. Learn more at nevadahand.org. Good news for those who travel back and forth between the Nevada and California border. The California Department of Transportation has put out a bid for a $12 million project on the busy stretch of I-15 South.
So essentially what NDOT and Caltrans are going to do is repave and then restripe the shoulder just before the state line and then all the way to the agricultural center on the California side.
No word on a timeline yet. And a girl and her boyfriend plead guilty in the stabbing and killing of her father in April of 2021. Sierra Halseth and Aaron Guerrero were also accused of stuffing his body in a sleeping bag in the victim's garage. With the plea, prosecutors agree not to seek the death penalty for Guerrero, who was 18 when the killing happened.
Are you making this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Did anyone force you or threaten you or in any way coerce you into entering this plea?
No.
As part of the plea, both agreed to a sentence of 22 years to life in prison. In deep red, rural Nevada, longtime election officials are fighting to turn back the clock on elections and return to hand-counting paper ballots. Review Journal's Renee Summerhour has more on the pushback and why this fight may be paying off for some.
Yeah, Jen, while the fight is paying off for some, pleas from others have fallen on unsympathetic ears. Since the fall of 2021, 7 of Nevada's 17 counties have considered either switching away from the electronic voting machines, which have come under fire following the 2020 election, or eliminating electric voting systems altogether in favor of paper ballots and hand counting.
Now, in a county where there's several hundred voters, that's not going to be such a big deal. But in a county with a larger number of voters, like Nye County, for example, that could end up being quite a large amount of ballots to be cast, which will delay election results possibly beyond the deadlines that they have for certifying the election.
Now, Nye County and Esmeralda County are the only two making the request so far, and none of the proposed changes can take effect before the June primaries. However, the earliest the switch could take place would be in November. County commissioners cannot force elected clerks to stop using electronic machines. They are only allowed to recommend or request that they do so. Jen?
In weather, sponsored by Star Nursery, your garden's partner for every blooming thing. After a hot day, temps are still in the high 90s tonight. Should get down to the 80s by 10 p.m., then 70s overnight. On Thursday, the forecast now shows partly cloudy skies and more scorching highs in the triple digits with some breezes. Similar conditions on Friday. For your Memorial Day weekend, your high slightly cool to the 90s with the winds picking up to around 25 to 30 miles per hour. Starting Monday, we're back to pleasant highs in the 80s through Tuesday. In Lifestyle, sponsored by Visit Laughlin, an easygoing getaway filled with good food, good people, and good times on the river. The water levels in Lake Mead keep dropping. The Bureau of Reclamation forecasts will drop more than 30 feet in the next 2 years. In December, Nevada, California, and Arizona signed a 500-plus plan to relieve Lake Mead's elevation by 16 feet in 2 years. Plus, North Las Vegas police break ground on a new command police station. You're looking at the future site of the North Central Area Command on West Deer Springs Way and Harwood Creek Street. In Business, sponsored by Bank of Nevada, Bank on Accountability. You've heard of electric cars, but how about fuel cell cars? French energy giant Liquide held a ribbon cutting for its $250 million project in North Las Vegas's Apex Industrial Park today. The company says its 25-acre plant can help supply more than 40,000 fuel cell cars powered by hydrogen rather than gas. Plus a look at more than 11,000 attending the Licensing Expo at the Mandalay Bay Convention Center. More than 250 exhibitors are taking part in this 3-day convention, which began Tuesday, finally returning after a 3-year break during the pandemic.
Sports betting sponsored by Las Vegas Paiute Tribal Smoky and Cigar Shop. No NBA team has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit to win a playoff series. That fact didn't stop a bettor at Caesars Palace from wagering $50,000 to win $1.5 million on the Mavericks to win the Western Conference Finals over the Warriors. The bet was placed on Tuesday before Dallas defeated Golden State in Game 4 to hold off elimination. The same bettor also wagered $10,000 to win $750,000 on the Mavs to win the NBA title. Dallas is a 7-point underdog in Game 5 on Thursday.
In Health, sponsored by Boulder City Hospital. We're here for you when you need us. With Memorial Day weekend coming up, the Southern Nevada Health District is urging everyone to remain cautious as COVID cases are continuing to increase. COVID boosters are available in numerous locations, or you can mask up in public indoor settings, especially if you're immunocompromised. And giving back to Nevada health centers. The Hemsley Charitable Trust granted a $4.2 million grant for 50 ultrasound machines in Nevada and support-related training. This organization is founded by late businesswoman Leona Hemsley. In entertainment, guess which star is extending their Las Vegas residency through 2022? None other than Mr. Las Vegas himself, Wayne Newton. His up-close and personal production at Flamingo's Wayne Newton Theater is being extended through December. At age 80, he's keeping busy. Tickets start at $69. Thank you for watching 7 at 7. If you have Amazon Fire TV, just search Review Journal to download our channel. Watch Las Vegas breaking news streaming live on your OTT device. We'll see you tomorrow for more 7 at 7.
Review Journal Studio, sponsored by Adam Kuttner. Get the maximum settlement as quickly as possible. This 7 at 7 update, sponsored by Pro Group Management. You're watching 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review Journal.